We're here at the BC Liberal headquarters in downtown Vancouver. Got to be honest with you, not too many cheers. There were a lot of cheers before, a lot of noise, not so much anymore, because for the first time tonight, the media is reporting that the NDP has pulled ahead. Multiple sources are saying this. Now, of course, less than half of the polls have been counted, so nothing is for certain, but the atmosphere here at the BC Liberal headquarters has changed completely. I've heard a couple of expletives. I walked by someone who was almost in tears after they found out a particular Liberal candidate had lost their riding. So it's a tight race. It's really close, and you can really sense the tension here. And it's going to be one long night of tension, for sure.
At least 8 people are dead, several more injured, after a man intentionally drove his truck into a busy biker path in Manhattan near the World Trade Center.
Based on the information we have at this moment, this was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians.
The driver of the vehicle eventually collided with a school bus, injuring 2 adults and a pair of children, and exited the car, 2 guns in hand, before he was caught by police. We'll have more updates on this breaking story as they come. Calm waters. They won't last long. By noon, disputed territory. In a battle with one corporate giant, in a war with colonial roots.
Tsleil-Waututh means people of the inlet, that's us. This was part of our village. We lived both sides of this inlet. On contact, we got wiped out to 13 people.
Today, the resistance also takes to the sea. Protesters on their way to surround the Kinder Morgan terminal in Burnaby, risking arrest and obstructing a tanker route.
It's inevitable that there would be massive destruction to the beautiful water and the land here.
When the federal government first lent its support to the Kinder Morgan project, things looked dire. But 1 year later, the opposition is confident.
First Nations are winning 90% of our court cases. That's 200 court cases in the last 3 years. The Canadian Constitution is protecting our Indigenous rights, and I believe that it's going to happen again.
Justin Trudeau's government said the pipeline expansion is in Canada's best interests, and that without it, gas would have to be transported by rail tanker cars, which are even more dangerous. But protesters aren't buying it.
Hey, Barr! You are not welcome! Hey, Barr! You are not welcome!
They return, though the work isn't done, not close, but they say they will keep fighting, if not for themselves, for the next generation. Hayder Nayani, BCIT News. Fresh ice, 2 nets, and some willing participants. An ordinary hockey practice, right? Wrong. Today, this team is trading in one kind of stick for another.
We are the Vancouver Eclipse Blind Ice Hockey Team, and we are dedicated to athletes who are blind and visually impaired. So all the skaters on the ice have a certain level of blindness.
John has holes in his retina, but visual impairments won't stop him or the team from repping Vancouver at a Pittsburgh Penguins blind hockey tournament next week. Though this isn't exactly the kind of hockey you're used to.
This is the puck. It's 3 times the size of a regular puck.
A bigger, louder puck and smaller nets make the game more accessible, sure. But why are people with serious visual impairments even taking the risk of getting on the ice in the first place?
Coming out with these guys made me more comfortable with my disorder, the disease. You're in a rainstorm, you got a dirty windshield, the windshield gets wetter and wetter and it just gets harder to look through. That's what my vision's like.
And when you begin to lose something you've never been without, like your vision, a little comfort can go a long way.
I came out, I tried it, realized I liked it a lot, and I'm no longer depressed, I'm no longer upset. These guys probably saved my life. I was probably at one point very suicidal and probably wouldn't be here without them.
So even though it's not your typical hockey practice, it's still about bringing people together. Hayder Nayani, BCIT News.